Me when you are.
Right, if everybody's ready, we'll get started. So I'll call the town board meeting of Tuesday, December 23rd, 2025 to order at 6:32. And if we could all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Billy, if you could do a roll call, please.
Supervisor Hendrickson. Here. Supervisor Olson.
Here.
Supervisor Ledke.
Here.
Supervisor Cole is participating remotely. And Supervisor Miller-Burnett is absent.
And just as a reminder, the Supervisor Cole absent. He will be able to participate in conversation, but he will not be able to vote. All right, we'll move on to public forum. I take it nobody's here for public forum. So we'll close public forum and we'll move on to the agenda. Is there any changes, suggestions to the agenda?
Chair,
Yes, Supervisor Ledke.
I would like to add 7.1 skid steer RFA.
Okay.
7.2 fuel purchases.
All right.
7.3 parks update.
Okay.
And 7.4 the 2026 schedule of meetings. And under old business, 8.3 website updates.
Okay, 8.3 website update. Okay. And then under old business, I'd also like to add one more, which would be 8.4. And this is going to be the police contract. All right, any other suggested changes? Hearing none. I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
The motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries 3-0. Okay, now consideration of the consent agenda. Any changes or modifications to that? I have none. Go ahead and make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented. Is there a second?
Actually, wondering, so second, then we would talk
Yeah,
about.
you can.
Okay, I'll second it.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Now discussion.
Right, so for the snowplow truck driving, I thought it was 23.58 for the. Wasn't there a 23?
Yeah, $23.58
Yeah,
an
am I
hour.
missing? Is that on the next? Oh, there it is. Never mind.
Okay. All right, any other discussion on the consent agenda? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries 3-0. All right, move on to new business, 7.1. This is the skid steer. And I handed out, I didn't get a chance to get it into the board packet, so I apologize for that. Supervisor Cole, I did email it to you. I don't know if you received it or not. Should be in your inbox.
I have it.
Okay. And what this is, we talked about this during a working session here a week ago. And so I had the task of going out and getting a bid for this. We only needed one quote because this follows the state pricing guidelines. So this is the lowest price that we can buy a piece of equipment for. This was in consideration of purchasing a Caterpillar 255 compact track loader. And this would replace the Kubota tractor that we currently have. It would also replace the John Deere tractor and implements that we have. May also end up replacing some other equipment that we have that we might be able to utilize this for rather than those. It's going to give us more versatility. It's going to give us more ability to do the job more effectively and safely than we have been before. Some of the equipment has been used in a manner that it wasn't intended for. So this will correct that problem. Did look into rough estimates on value. If we pick up the skid steer, we'd be able to sell the Kubota tractor. Estimates that I got were a resale value of between $14,000 and $18,000. That's with the implements. John Deere with the implements could actually get us a return of about $4,000 to $7,000. So we would get some money back on selling that. So it kind of offset it a little bit. As far as other uses, Ziegler down in Columbus, they're close by. They have a whole huge inventory of implements that we can rent. So we don't necessarily have to purchase everything that we want. We can, if we have short uses of something, we can go down and rent the equipment and save some money there. And I put in the RFA, I was wrong on the RFA. I was told by phone it was 6%, but in the email it said 4%. If we move forward with purchasing a skid steer now, and we are invoiced in 2025 versus being invoiced in 2026, the price is going to increase by 4% overall for the equipment and the implement. So, you're looking at almost a $4,000 difference in buying it, a matter of a couple of weeks apart. So that's kind of why it's a little bit more urgent to move forward. If we're going to move forward on it, to move forward on it now, rather than in a couple of weeks in 2026. So again, this was part of our working session, so I wanted to bring this up for further discussion. People have had time to think about it. So my recommendation was to have some discussion about this and then consider a motion. So is there any questions about skid steer, the pricing? There's 4 implements that we have on the bid. We may change one of those. I think there was a little confusion when I was discussing it with the salesperson. They actually quoted for a snow blower, which we were actually looking for a rotary broom. So there's a significant price difference between the two. So we may opt to change the bid a little bit or what we're asking for, and that would lower the price down some. Yeah, Supervisor
I
Hendrickson.
know this is a little late. I just realized that I did not add something for the fire department. Is it too late to add that?
What we can do is we can add that at the very end of the meeting when I
Okay.
ask for any additional
Okay.
business.
Okay,
And
thank
I'll
you.
make sure I ask for it there. Okay. Anything else on this topic?
No, I think it's a must-have, given in light of, like you said, how we've been utilizing the Kubota and being able to maximize back end recycling and just the challenges we've experienced this early on in this winter already with trying to manage the ice rinks and get them under control. Not having equipment sized right for the job is making the job even harder when you're dependent on volunteers and Mother Nature. So I know we can benefit from it across multiple departments.
Perfect.
In terms of cleanup around the buildings and everything too. So like you said, having the Caterpillar option right there in Columbus for rental of stuff, the town can condense down projects or whatnot and, then go rent the equipment to get it all done for whatever it might be. So I'm in favor of it.
Excellent. Thank you. The one thing that working with a salesperson is Ziegler has an awesome extended warranty. We've got it on the loader, 8 years on the loader. It's amazing what they'll cover for expenses. Sometimes even if it's
even if it's not wear and tear, and sometimes it's an accident that happens, they'll still cover it under the warranty. One of the nice things is that because we get such a discount being a government agency on this, if we keep it for 8 years, the trade back in value on there is going to be almost a wash with what we pay for the equipment. So it's going to help as we move forward and keep our equipment up to date. It's not going to be as much of a financial burden as we move forward. So financial impact, what I did was I went out and I looked at the budgeting, our capital budgets. One of the things that we talked about in the work session was how if we would split it up between different areas. The areas that would take advantage of having the piece of equipment would be obviously road and bridge, recycling, and parks. And recycling, we actually had set aside, we budgeted in 2026, $20,000 specifically for a tractor. So that to me is a pretty easy allocation there. Parks had $10,000 budgeted in 2026 out of a total of 62,000 that they had in total reserves. So that or a portion of that could also be allocated. So we're at about 30,000. And Road and Bridge had $50,000 allocated in 2026 for equipment. And so, just between those, we're at $80,000. There's a total reserves that we have for Road and Bridge right now at 350,000. So if we need to dip a little deeper than 50 into Road and Bridge, we can, the funds are there. So we definitely can cover it with the money that we've been putting into our capital budgets. Now, as far as the percentage, I didn't break it out by percentage, but the money is there that we can allocate and cover the cost. So any other questions on it before I move forward with the motion? Sam, any questions? All right, hearing none. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a motion to approve the purchase of a 255 compact track loader with the bucket, grapple, pallet forks, and a fourth implement, which may either be a rotary broom or a snow blower, for the total purchase price not to exceed $94,176.44.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 3-0. All right, thank you for that. That is something that's been much needed for a long time. All right, we will move on to 7.2. This is the fuel purchases. Supervisor Ledke.
So brought to my attention that we are still outstanding some fuel purchases, which could negatively impact the budget should they be incurred next year. So in speaking with the treasurer, we looked in terms of options to get this closed out by year end. Consulting with the attorney, recommendation was to make take action the board could to authorize staff to make payment should it be made, or should the invoice be received, because we're not going to meet again for the rest of the year, but to be able to incur it against the budget. So with that, I will make a motion to approve the town's pending fuel invoices not to exceed $15,000 if received prior to year end, and subject to the review of the respective departments with fuel invoices. That dollar amount is conservative and based off of last year's fuel charges.
I will second that.
All right, motion's made and seconded. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 3-0. 7.3, this is a parks update.
Okay, so the parks met last night. They are having scheduled the skate party for January 23rd, with the alternate date being January 30th. We are working on the ice, but the weather and volunteers, it's, and then the snow and all that, trying to get the rink cleared out to be able to flood it. But hopefully we will have everything done soon and we will post it online.
Wonderful. That's awesome.
Yeah, the pleasure rink, hoping to be ready here next week with winter break starting tomorrow. Just gotta get Mother Nature to participate. She's been hot and cold and making things tough.
I've seen that there's a lot of people volunteering and been out there flooding the heck out of the ring. So very much
Yes.
appreciated.
Very much appreciated. There's been a core group that have been pretty dedicated.
It's awesome. All right. We're on to 7.4. This is a schedule of meetings. And this is the 2026 schedule. Who would like to speak to this?
Believe Clerk Larson put this one together.
Schedule of meetings. You'll notice some changes on here. We've included now monthly town board workshops. That will be the first Tuesday at 5:30. It's kind of taking the place on the night of Road and Bridge. Parks and Recs, third Monday, Planning and Zoning, third Tuesday. School Force first Monday, Cemetery Committee second Wednesday. We also included some language on the bottom where it talks about only one posting location now, which will be outside of Town Hall. And we are going to be still including them on the website, but that's not going to be one of our official postings. And some language about board members attending these meetings virtually. And it gives the YouTube address that people can see. And I'm looking for you guys to approve the schedule for 2026.
I will make a motion to approve the 2026 schedule of regular meetings for Linwood Township as presented.
I'll second the motion. All right, motion been made and seconded. Any other discussion on this? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 3-0. So this is the one that'll end up on our first January meeting being adopted for the year as well. Is that right?
Correct.
Perfect. Well, thank you for that. Thanks, Billy. All right, old business, 8.1, township staffing. Either one of you.
I could take it. if you Want? And, you can jump in with kind of the update of where we're at. So yeah, out of the staffing discussion we had regarding recycling attendant description, that is included in the packet. The main consensus was, this position, entry level. So, I mean, the biggest thing is coming around is Supervisor Hendrickson and I discussed just the options for coverage with staffing and the ability to have two positions would allow flexibility for people to have time off. A lot of people get burnt out by the constant and every weekend. This would allow some flexibility to just still maintain two staff members present without having everything be all over the place with running the budget up by having three every single time. So the main thing here is this would offset some of the hours currently and would obviously be allowing some more flexibility with scheduling for employees. So the recommendation is there to post for two and not to exceed 20 hours. Our open hours are 12.5 hours a week, but they would be there for before and after for setup and cleanup. So the shifts are a little longer than the actual open hours. So with that, I'll stand for questions or Supervisor Hendrickson.
So right now we have one person back there. So this would be two additional people. So for a total of three then. Is that
Correct.
right? Okay, good. good. I think we definitely need that.
Yeah, that way if anyone needs, they can have a Saturday off occasionally.
Yeah.
Um, vacation time.
And this starts the stepped job description um progress of things that we were talking about. So this is a recycling attendant one, and we'll come forth with revamping the current and making a recycling attendant two, which has the added responsibilities and other, the pay grade reflects that, and people know then what and where they land in the pay grades for each position. So this is in the sense a new job description, but a lot of the responsibilities were pulled from the previous one. And then some of those will go into the next one.
Yeah, this is beautiful. I love it. Really like it. All right. Looking for motion on this then?
If no other questions, yeah, I will make a motion to approve recycling attendant one job description and post for up to 2 openings for $17 to $20 an hour, not to exceed 20 hours per week.
Second that.
All right, motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
I,
Aye. Opposed, motion carries 3-0. Very nice job on this too. All right, move on to 8.2. This is the accounting services. Assuming that's our treasurer.
Yes. So currently the township is contracting with Abdo for professional accounting services. We are on an as-needed basis. So the recommendation is that Linwood Town Board approve a 1-year accounting services contract with Abdo in the amount of $73,000. It is significantly less expensive to go that route versus our day-to-day basis, just kind of based on an average of what we've been spending per month. And I did the math on that. Right now, based on what we have spent when we started our contract with them in May through November 30th, it would put us at an average annual of $121,689.43 if we continued on the path that we are as the as needed basis.
No, I think this is a no-brainer. Such a cost savings. I don't see them going away for a while, so. This looks really, really good. Any board action?
Yeah, I will make a motion that we approve the 1-year accounting services contract as presented by the treasurer with Abdo in the amount of $73,000 effective for the upcoming contract year 2026.
I will second it.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
I,
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 3-0. All right, and then we've got 8.3. This is a website update. Supervisor Lutke.
Yeah, just a quick update on the website. Supervisor Cole, team, we've got the new websites rolling out here. Change should be happening within the hours. So overall, it's going to be a pretty cool thing. I know staff are excited about the ability to be able to get some of their information up there and the engagement that can occur with the residents. They'll be able to sign up for and subscribe for notifications. So that way they get posted when meetings are posted and notices go out. You can subscribe to that. We'll be able to also do news flashes. So if there is some sort of emergency or an update to be provided, community events, cancellation stuff, you can subscribe to all that stuff and check what you want to know about and be involved and how you're notified via text or email. So that is a huge communication piece that we're super excited for, to be able to reach out to everyone. So the new website as part of that transition to us to going to the .gov is linwoodtownshipmn.gov. And if you can't remember it, the old one will transition to it here as well. So the looking forward to getting it out there and people interacting with it.
This is gonna be exciting. I'm looking forward to it too.
Yeah.
And then you said this is gonna be available for first look.
It's out. If you go to it now, it's there, and the redirect will happen here shortly tonight as well. So, and then there's still some holes to fill. I mean, being able to get to going back to the agendas and minutes like we had saw in the presentation, they backfilled a lot of the priors, but we're missing in the build frame. We're missing just a few, but they'll get backfilled in here as we progress. So, but the calendar of events and all that is moving forward. So it'll be very good for citizen interaction, and the ability for staff to communicate timely is what I'm most excited about.
So we just need to have a little patience to let the rest of the 20% of the website get filled in.
Yep.
Excellent. Wonderful. Any comments, questions for Supervisor Lutke? No, great job. This was another one that definitely needed to be updated, so.
No, hats off to Supervisor Cole and staff. Everyone was all hands on deck and making things happen and working. And the vendor's been great to work with as well. So
Thanks to everybody. All right, 8.4 police contract. This one's gonna be pretty short. Over the last few months, I didn't put this into the packet for a couple reasons. One is the law enforcement contract between Linwood and Anoka County has been posted, I don't know how many times in the board packet. So the only thing that we really had in question that we needed to resolve, and I did have a conversation with Deputy Linsmeyer and Deputy Douglas, was section G and section H. And what they referred to as section G starts by saying the county patrol cars used for providing the services pursuant to this contract shall be stored on the premises owned by the township. Then it goes on to say, in the event that a suitable and secure storage location is not provided in the determination of the sheriff, the patrol cars will be returned to the sheriff's office at the end of each shift. So H is similar, but it talks about office space for the deputy. And their interpretation of this, which after they explained it and I reread it, it made sense. All they're saying here is that if the township would like to provide space for those two, that then they would utilize it. If we don't, if we choose not to provide that, they'll find an alternate location for both of those. So it doesn't force us into reserving the space for them. And he said if Officer Linsmeyer said if we have any concerns, he'd be happy to put it in writing to us that they are not going to and would not use the space that they used to use here. So after I read it, it made sense that it was just basically covering them, that to their point is that if we provided a spot and it wasn't safe, it was a bad spot or whatever, that they reserve the right to move it someplace that they felt safe. That's why it was put in the way it is. So given that, I personally am not as concerned about this contract. So I'd like to get this in place so that we've got the contract done before January 1st when our services start. So I would like to make a motion to move forward with the chairman signing the contract for the 2026 law enforcement contract with Anoka County. And sorry, I thought I had a cost written in here. Yeah, the contract in here states, $316,542. So that would be my motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Right, motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 3-0. And I will get that signed and we'll do that on Friday when we do the other signatures then and we can get that off to them. Perfect, thank you. All right, and then we have a couple things here. One is the next board meeting is gonna be on January 13th, 2026 at 6:30 with probably a working session beforehand. That's gonna be probably a much longer board meeting, so be prepared for that one as we'll go through committee assignments and such. And then just to restate, your skate party, which I think we need to continue to say over and over again,
Yeah.
is January 23rd.
Correct.
Okay, good. Now, is there anything else to come before the board?
I will withdraw that because there's not a quorum to be able to make a vote since it's involving the fire department.
Oh, got it. Okay. Not a problem. All right. Anything else to come before the board?
I will make a motion to adjourn.
Motion's been made.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
I.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. We are adjourned at 7:04. The last.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you. See you guys later.